Mariah Carey is a famous singer from the United States. She is known for being able to sing really high and low notes. In the 1990s, she was one of the most popular female singers, and people still like her music today. Mariah Carey was born on March 27, 1970, in a place called Huntington, which is in New York. Her dad is from a country called Venezuela, and he works with planes. Her mom teaches people how to sing, and she sings opera too. Mariah has two older siblings, a brother named Morgan and a sister named Allison. In 1988, Mariah Carey went to a fancy party with her friend Star. She gave her music to a very important person from a music company called Columbia Records. They really liked her music, and wanted to sign her. In 1990, Mariah released her first album called Mariah Carey. It became really popular and won her some special awards. In 1991, it was the most sold album in the United States. Mariah then released more albums in the following years. This album had a really popular song called All I Want for Christmas Is You, which a lot of people love and has sold a ton of copies. Then in 1995, she made another album called Daydream, which was her most successful album in the US, and got nominated for a bunch of awards. After that, she made another album called Butterfly in 1997 and signed a really big record deal worth $100 million. But she ended up changing record companies and signed a new deal for $24 million. Then in 2005, she released her album called The Emancipation of Mimi, which had a really popular song called We Belong Together, that broke a lot of records. She won a bunch of awards for that album too. In 2009, she acted in a movie called Precious, and won an award for her performance. Thank you very much for giving me this beautiful award. I feel really nervous. I want to say thank you to Billboard for letting me be on their charts as I grew up, and for giving me this amazing honor. They called me an icon, but I don't really think of myself that way. I started making music because I needed to, and because I wanted to express myself. I just wanted to create something that would make me feel like I mattered. And if there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that with God, anything is possible. The information you provided outlines Mariah Carey's details accurately. Net worth: $350 million. Date of birth: March 27, 1969, 54 years old. Place of birth: Huntington. Gender: female. Height: 5 feet 8 and 1.75 meters. Profession: record producer, singer, songwriter, musician, model, author, composer, actor, film producer, voice actor. Nationality: United States of America. Mariah Carey has indeed had a multifaceted career and has achieved remarkable success in various fields within the entertainment industry. If you have any more questions, or if there's anything else you'd like to know, feel free to ask. Mariah Carey is a famous singer who has a lot of money. She has about $350 million. Every year, she makes around $2.5 million just from a special song she made about Christmas a long time ago. Mariah Carey has a lot of money, around $340 million. Because of that, she can buy a really fancy house for her and her two kids, Monroe and Morocco, who are 12 years old. The person who makes fantasy things come to life stayed in a big fancy house with a nice pool and hot tub for 3 months. The house was in Beverly Hills and had lots of trees and a special area outside that was just for them. So, Mariah has some really expensive and cool cars in her collection. Mariah Carey is said to have a lot of fancy cars that are really expensive. These cars are made by really fancy brands like Mercedes, Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce, and Bentley. These cars are known for being really good and fancy. It's not surprising for famous people like Mariah Carey to have these kinds of nice cars. Mariah Carey has some really cool cars in her garage. One of them is a Mercedes-Benz convertible that goes really fast, up to 152 miles per hour. It has a special engine that makes it go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.6 seconds. Mariah also has a super fancy Lamborghini that has a really powerful engine with 602 horsepower. It starts at a price of $223,654. Lastly, Mariah has a really luxurious Rolls-Royce car that costs $450,000. It has a really big and powerful engine that makes it go really fast, up to 155 miles per hour. Mariah Carey car collection price. Mercedes SLK $122,100. Lamborghini Huracan Spider $223,654. Rolls-Royce Phantom $450,000. Rolls-Royce Drophead $544,510. Bentley Continental GT Convertible $302,400. When I was a kid, I really liked to read books, even though it may seem surprising. Being biracial means that I have 2 different backgrounds and it's a big part of who I am. It's so important to me that sometimes I wish people would stop making a big deal about it. It's something that is just a natural part of me. I think a lot of my fans can understand how I feel because they have also felt like they didn't quite fit in or were different from others. I began singing at the same time I began speaking. My brother and sister had a harder time when they were younger because they were born before me, and they faced more unfair treatment because of their race. They grew up during a time when some people were very mean to them, like burning crosses in their yard and hurting their pets. Being famous can be like magic, but also really strange sometimes. It's like a saying, but it's true that sometimes you can feel really lonely, even when there are a lot of people around you. The people who like me and support me have made my job really great. They are always there for me, even when things are tough. I am really grateful to have them in my life. I could do my own nails. I went to beauty school in 11th grade. But why would I do that now? Everyone gets talked about by others, but some people have more control over what is said about them. Some people even provide information to the media to shape the way they are talked about. But I don't do that. Marilyn Monroe had her own movie company, which was a big deal because she was a woman. She helped other women in Hollywood by showing them that they can have their own companies too. Even if people didn't always like the way she looked or acted, all women in Hollywood are grateful to her for what she did. I never thought I would feel love again, but it's amazing how the universe brings love to you.